Now the A's just now taking the field for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Game 1 won by the Angels, so A's headed inside, changed their tops, and they're ready to go for Game 2. Here's the game time weather, which is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 64 degrees, so it is a very nice late afternoon. It's like postseason baseball starting at 5 o'clock. Here's the lineup for the Angels.
Be nice to be in postseason.
Yes, it would. Izturis, Hunter, Abreu, Wells, Callaspo, Ibar, Trumbo, Conger, and Trout. So that is your Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim starting lineup.
Trevor Cahill started the first game. It'll be Rich Harden, Game 2 of this series, or this doubleheader, making just his third start. Arizona, he defeated here at the Coliseum. And in Texas against his former team, one of the shutouts the A's endured during that 4-game series. So Rich Harden, he likes pitching here. Let's hope that continues this afternoon.
The defense for the A's: Sweeney, Crisp, and DeJesus in the outfield. Sizemore, Sogard, Weeks, Jackson on the infield, and Landon Powell is behind the plate. So we're set to go. Rich Harden standing on top of the rubber, looking down at Mycer Izturis, and the first pitch is down and in for ball one. So 5:01 first pitch for the second game of the doubleheader. So again, 4-2 was the final earlier today. The A's closed the gap to 3-2, but could not finish off the comeback. So 3-0 now to Izturis, who's playing second base. Howie Kendrick will get Game 2 off. And that one called a strike by Jerry Niels.
Jerry had the first game off. Dale Scott, the home plate umpire, has Game 2 off.
Three-wood pitch is strike called. Right around the letter. So full count to Izturis, who will be followed by Hunter and then Bobby Abreu. Slap toward left field. Sweeney over and in, and he's got it.
Get the Dodge Charger keys to the game. Ernie Banks would love it. Wherever Ernie is today, he would love Let's Play 2. Rich Harden definitely enjoys pitching here at the Coliseum. Let's hope that continues. And the problem is the Seagulls do not know it's a doubleheader today, and they are starting to come in, and we will see as the game progresses just how much they realize the game is continuing. That is a doubleheader. They didn't get the memo.
No, and you know what? It's not their fault.
I know, I agree. But they expect this is, 5 o'clock, and Saturday afternoon game is completed. But why are all these people still in the stands? I think some of the people left after the first game thinking it's the afternoon. They forgot about it being a doubleheader.
Last scheduled, A's doubleheader, 1997 against the Milwaukee Brewers. August 10th of 97.
There they are.
Sogard, the shortstop, charges, flips it across, and that's out number 2. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. June 8th, 2008. Rich Harden strikes out the side versus the Angels, and he does it 9 pitches. Izturis, Kendrick finishes it off with Garrett Anderson. Strikes out the side on 9 pitches. That was the 8th of June, 2008, and that is our McDonald's true story. He can do that.
It was even better for him to start 3-0 against Izturis and got him out. And then a 3-pitch to Torrey Hunter. So maybe that's the beginning. Good things for Rich Harden, especially with the first batter. Let's see how the Angels approach Rich Harden. He has an outstanding changeup, basically a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball changeup. We saw the Rangers in his last start lay off the changeup, and as he explained afterwards, his fastball was up. Anything down they figured was a changeup. They were not swinging. Took the pitches, and unfortunately, Rich and the A's lost the game.
Abreu hits it hard, but right to Weeks, who Flips to first, and Rich Harden has a very nice 3-up, 3-down first inning. Bottom of the first coming up. The lineup looks like this. Weeks, Crisp, Sweeney, Willingham, DeJesus, Jackson, Powell, Sizemore, and Sogar.
Well, a young man who has always done well against the Athletics, that is Irvin Santana. And his record on the season, you don't like that, but his pitching coach, Mike Butcher, said should have a lot more wins and not give up a lot of runs. But here he continues to pitch very well. And we'll see how he does against the Athletics, who are trying to salvage at least one win. They won last night, and of course the goal was to win the series. That means 3 of 4. That means they have to win this afternoon's second game as well as tomorrow, series finale. And they can do it.
Weeks had a big game 1. He was 3 for 4 with a walk, knocked in a run. He had good at bats against all-star pitchers, Weaver, and then the closer, Jordan Walden. So thanks to that 3-hit game in game 1, the average now at 308. No homers, 10 RBIs for Weeks. Santana right in on the hands of Weeks, and that's a swinging strikeout. Let's look at the Angels defensively for this ball game. Wells at left, Trout in center, Hunter in right, Callaspo, Ibar, Izturis, Trumbo, and Hank Hunger is the catcher. And in steps Coco Crisp. He said Weeks had a very good game 1. Coco Crisp had an 0 for 5, so he's looking to turn it around.
Coco really enjoys the second spot in the batting order and really does a good job when Jamal Weeks gets on base, allowing him to steal, although Jamal in the first game took off. But Coco had what he thought was a good enough pitch to drive with 2 outs in the 9th inning, down by a couple of runs. He has a home run power, cannot do it though.
Izturis takes care of Coco Crisp for the second out here in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up Sweeney.
You know, there's so few doubleheaders, and especially regularly scheduled doubleheaders. It's a day-night, you have the time in between. But when you have the 30, 35 minutes, you build up with all the excitement in game 1 towards the end, then you have to shut it down and forget about it and start all over.
At half an hour.
In a half hour. And it's very different in that regard. And I think with pitchers, sometimes they have to maybe learn how to extend beyond 100, 115 pitches or whatever. I think with guys who play so few doubleheaders, they have to get accustomed to playing 2 games in a span of maybe 5 or 6 hours. It's a lot of baseball. They just don't do it. Mike Butcher said it's his first time as a pitching coach in the big leagues to have a doubleheader, scheduled doubleheader, and he said they're not 7-inning doubleheaders, which they are in the minor league.
Well, we said 1997. That's the last time the A's had a scheduled doubleheader, meaning it was on the schedule from the get-go, not a rain out or anything. The last time there was a doubleheader scheduled in the major leagues was 2003. National League game, Padres and the Phillies. So it's a thing of the past outside of maybe rainouts that are made up, which you do see a fair amount, especially this year.
And again, I think, and look at the stands, good crowd for the first game. Maybe some people said one's enough.
Sure.
You know, they have
or
a chance
some people come for the
later
game too.
Yeah.
But it is a nice crowd.
A very good crowd, and they enjoyed the first game. But it is rare for fans to get accustomed to getting two for the price of one.
There's a shot fair past the diving Trumbo. Sweeney hits the bag at first. He's digging for two. He takes a look at his third base coach, and he's going to try for third. And the throw is right there, and he is out. Another perfect relay by the Angels. They did it in game one. Cut down a runner at home. And here they cut down Sweeney at third. Camp Railroads, whether it's a steam train through the Redwood Forest or the beach train to Santa Cruz, Roaring Camp is the ride of a lifetime. RoaringCamp.com. Second inning, it'll be Wells, Callaspo, and Ibar for the Angels. Vernon Wells in game one. Was 1 for 3. He scored a run. He walked twice. So I don't know if you saw game one, which is the nationally televised game. Angels a perfect relay to cut down David DeJesus at the plate. And they had a perfect relay again and got Sweeney at third. Sogard out, and Sogard reaches out, makes the catch. Wells is retired.
But typically with 2 outs, Ryan Sweeney, as he hammers the ball, the off-speed pitch down the right field line, he's got the ball in front of him, so he sees it's there. And then you start thinking, wait, there are 2 outs. I don't want to be thrown out at third base. But there's the throw from Torrey Hunter on to third base, and Ryan Sweeney's out by 10 feet. He does look at the third baseman there and then picks it up. So he evidently saw something. We do not have a shot of Mike Gallego, but it is, especially with 2 outs, you got no place to go. Of course, you might score on a mistake, but It's definitely a play where Callaspo had the ball in plenty of time to make the tag for the third out at third base. Kind of the old Cardinal rule. First to third out at third. It's a no-no.
So 2-0 to Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo drives one into right center field for a base hit. And he's making the turn, and a big turn, and he stops and heads back. So that's the first hit in the ball game. Make that the first hit for the Angels in this ball game.
I think when Callaspo saw David DeJesus cut in front of Coco Crisp, he thought about going to second, but then David, with an outstanding arm, showed it off. And Callaspo, who got halfway to second base, retreated, especially with David DeJesus coming in. And that's a good play, cutting in front. And, of course, he has the momentum with the glove on his right hand, left-handed thrower to pick up the ball, make the perfect throw, keep the double play in order.
Here's Ibar. Ibar goes after the first pitch, pops it up near the A's dugout, near the walkway, and just out of reach of Landon Powell.
74 World Series.
Okay.
Sal Bando at third. Joe Ferguson, who's playing right field, is a catcher.
Yeah,
Jimmy
famous
Wynn,
play. Yeah.
Jimmy Wynn in center. Wynn was camped under the ball. Sal was tagging. Ferguson cut in front and threw a bullet to Steve Yeager for the out. And
was that game here?
No, it was in L.A.
In L.A.?
Yeah. I think that was game 2. A's won game 1. Catfish getting the save. Was warming up in the bullpen and said, "You ready?" "Yeah, come on in." But that was a play, and boy, just to see Wynn standing there ready to catch it, and all of a sudden here comes Joe Ferguson right there. And Ferguson, of course, a tremendously strong arm.
Well, Joe Ferguson was a catcher
yes, he
too,
was,
right?
Yeah, but he's playing right field, and Yeager was behind the plate, and there was a big collision. And you have Sal Bando coming down on you from third base. He's not going to slide and say, "Don't hurt me." He's just going to go right through Yeager. Yeager held on, and that was the out. The Dodgers won game 2. The A's came back to Oakland, swept, won 3 straight, and won the World Series in 5. Third consecutive World Series.
Ibar just lofts one, but Sogard is there. He's got it. Couple steps out onto the outfield grass. 2 outs.
Well, this is the relay, and Mike Gallego at third base, and I think this is a good play. It's hard to get back-to-back hits with 2 outs, and unfortunately, Kurt Suzuki hit it too hard. The relay coming in with David DeJesus trying to score. He was out by a large amount and just took the tag by Jeff Mathis. But you say, well, thrown out by that far, why didn't he stop? But again, that was a 2-out hit by Suzuki, and then expect another one. You just don't get them that often. It's nothing against the on-deck hitter. It's just simply pitchers usually bear it out, and they don't give up a lot of 2-out hits.
On 1 to Mark Trumbo. Trumbo was 0 for 4 in game 1. Swing and a miss. Struck out a couple of times.
A big strikeout last night's game in the 8th inning with Grant Balfour, and it was, as we pointed out, home run hit by Trumbo in the game in Anaheim, the A's last trip down there, that made it a 4-3 game. It was not going to let it come close to a hit last night, and he just blew the fastball by.
Trumbo, good power with his 17 home runs, but Ray was talking about, he will strike out some. Fastball is high, 95 miles an hour from Rich Harden. In Harden's first start against Arizona, he threw 76 pitches. In that second start at Texas, he threw 98. That one's driven left center field and deep, and that baby is gone. Mark Trumbo hits home run number 18. And the Angels lead 2-0.
Well, one of the problems with Trumbo, he's so strong. Throw the fastball by him and just wonder what would happen if he got a changeup at 86 that didn't break that much. He got it, and you see what happened. This is a changeup at 86, but look how it stayed right about belt high. Really did not have the serious bite that a lot of times Rich Harden changeup has, and that was a bullet to left center, and no doubter.
That's a pretty strong guy right there.
Very strong front foot hitting, and you don't second guess yourself as a pitcher because Rich Harden has a great changeup when he throws it well. That one just did not break as much as he wanted it to.
Conger, foul tip.
Looks the body, how he gets out on the front foot and just keeps the bat back. One hands it, releases the top hand, and crushed. And he hopes Kendrys Morales comes back quickly, but enjoys the time of playing first base while Morales is out. That is an amazing story, and a credit to Trumbo to play as well as he has been all season.
One and two to Conger, the switch hitter. Fouls that one straight back. Mathis was the catcher in game one for the Angels. So Conger, the #1 draft pick for the Angels, gets the start here in game two. To left field where Sweeney goes back a couple steps, turns around, he's got it, side retired. The rookie Mark Trumbo, a 2-run homer, his 18th of the year, and the Angels lead.
Face the Angels, 105, the final game of the series, final game of the homestand. A limited number of field level tickets are available at a special turn back the clock price of only $19.89, and 15,000 fans will receive MC Hammer bobblehead presented by Supercuts. For more information about 80s Day and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/1989. Special year, World Championship for the Athletics.
First pitch to Willingham is driven to right center, but playable. Trout and Torrey Hunter come together, and it's going to be the right fielder Hunter who retires Willingham for out number one. So that'll bring up David DeJesus. DeJesus had a good game one of the doubleheader. He was 2 for 3 with a double, scored a run, also had a walk. And DeJesus with a 1 for 4 with a double night last night. So DeJesus starting to swing the bat better. And the average starting to move a little bit, but still well below the career average for David DeJesus.
I saw a note that all the players that have played against the Angels, David DeJesus has the highest career batting average against the Halos. The way he's swinging the bat and has swung the bat against the Angels all season, I'm not surprised with those numbers.
Well, this year alone, he's 16 for 39 against the Angels. One and two the count with Connor Jackson in the on-deck circle. Mark Trumbo, a 2-run homer in the top of the second inning.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to do what they tried to do in the first game, and that's come back after being down as much as 3-0. Did come back to make it a 3-2 game, lost by a score of 4-2.
And the Angels scored single runs in the first, 6th, 7th, and 9th. The A's got their 2 in the 7th. And they just couldn't get that final big hit in that 7th inning. They had 4 hits in the inning. Chop slowly towards second as Torres retires to DeJesus. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Well, the Bay Area's biggest sports staff now brings you Sportsnet Central updates each night on NBC Bay Area News at 6 and 11. Comcast Sportsnet and NBC Bay Area working together to bring you the best in local sports. Beautiful day at the Coliseum. Some clouds above. Very comfortable. First pitch to Connor Jackson is a bit high. Jackson was 1 for 4 with a run scored in game 1 of the doubleheader. Shoots that one foul. Connor Jackson kind of settling in at first base, as that's where he's been playing mostly lately.
You're really starting to see a pretty consistent lineup, just a matter of where they're hitting in the batting order. It's out of comfort zone for players, knowing they're going to be in. And Bob Melvin's doing a good job, as he has since he joined the club as manager, and telling the guys the day before whether or not they're going to be in the lineup. And I'm sure yesterday, last night, he told everybody, it's a doubleheader, everybody's going to play. And you have a lot of relievers, which the A's do have. Not as many extra guys. Most guys have to play both games, 9 innings.
So Jackson strikes out. That's the second strikeout for Santana. We're through 2-0 Angels. Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. This is for Ray. Freddie from Franklin asks, how many doubleheaders did you start both games at catcher? Now, before you answer, the boys in the truck went to Elias, so they have the exact number of times you started.
Good, because I have no clue. I have no idea.
Okay, so you played in the 70s, and that's when doubleheaders were, what do you think, 7, 8 a year, maybe? Something like that? On average, probably?
Well, you played doubleheader Sunday and had Monday off
yeah.
pretty consistently. But I have no clue.
All right, here we go. We're going to tell you. Well, as I read it, I mean, you're a gamer. I mean, you're a gamer.
Well, weren't you supposed to play both games?
Ray Fosse started both games of doubleheader at catcher 23 times. 22 of them were with the Indians. The only time he did it for the A's was May 6th of 1973 against his old team in Cleveland. So 22 times with the Tribe, once with the A's, but 23 times. That's pretty good.
That's how I kept my weight down in Cleveland.
So when you saw that doubleheader at Cleveland, you told Dick Williams, you know what, I'd like to play both this time.
Let's play two, Dick.
Trout with leadoff base runner. But I got to believe, I mean, as the catcher, I mean, you had to feel it at the end of the day. I mean, you had to be a little bit wore out.
Well, because of the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 10, 12 pounds, 14
So that
pounds.
was more of an issue than, hey, my legs are getting sore and tired. Yeah.
But I ate a lot and drank a lot.
Yeah.
I guess I hydrated. I didn't know what hydrating was back then.
Sure.
Like they know now. So we just drank it, whatever.
But to do it that many times, I mean, obviously back then, you being the everyday catcher, not catching the second game of the doubleheader was not an issue.
Right.
I mean, you were the everyday catcher. You're going to catch both games.
And usually, if there's a doubleheader, you wanted to catch the first game. The worst thing was to catch the second game because you never knew when it was going to happen. How long is the first game going to be? Landon Powell experienced that, warming up pitchers in the bullpen the first game. And knowing that as soon as the game is over, you got about 30, 35 minutes. At one time, I think it was 20, 25, maybe 20 minutes. Because the starting pitcher was immediately going to the bullpen.
Really?
And you were very quickly turning it around. Amazingly, the Angels' last scheduled doubleheader at home, 1978. Can you imagine going that many years?
78.
78 was the last scheduled doubleheader.
In Anaheim?
In Anaheim.
Wow.
In Anaheim. I mean, I know it's more recently that, last maybe 20 years, did not want to give up a gate, a lot of singles, and day-night doubleheaders and rainouts.
Sweeney near the line, he's got it. Kurt Suzuki not catching game two, but he had the best swings I think he's had in maybe a month, maybe all year.
Well, I think coming out of the break last night, he was very aggressive, swung the bat well, and this afternoon he came so close twice, back-to-back at-bats to hitting a home run. Just pulled it too much. He got out in front, tried to pull the Carlton Fisk from 75. It didn't work.
He ended up 1 for 3 with a double, but again, the two long foul balls, they went foul by a lot. So you just see just a little more aggressiveness from Kurt.
That's what we saw last night. I think that was, and maybe the 4-day break, but maybe also looking at hitting down in the batting order and figuring, what have I got to lose? Be aggressive, and he showed it today. Had a big ringing double down the left field line, probably hit it too hard. DeJesus could not score from first.
One and one the count after the pitch out. Trout, the runner at first, is, at least he was in the minor leagues, a definite base stealing threat. He has not attempted a steal yet at the big league level. Got a good lead. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. But the doubleheader thing, so you're saying most of the doubleheaders were on Sunday, and you usually had Monday off. That's just the way the schedule worked.
But I think it was just a matter of expecting to catch two and didn't think anything about it.
94 miles an hour, and Torii Hunter strikes out. First strikeout for Rich Hart.
Well, a good fastball did not go to the changeup as he did with Trumbo, and went right after Torii Hunter. And if he's got a good enough fastball, it's not a bad idea. The problem, I think, with Rich, as much as he would like to know how the changeup's going to come out of his hand, he obviously does not. So Torii Hunter did not get a chance to see the changeup with 2 strikes. Instead, the good fastball from Harden. But like his last start against the Rangers, his fastball is up in the zone. So the Angels watched any of that game, they'll say that anything down is going to be the changeup. The key for him is to get the fastball down in the zone.
There's the winner from game 1, Jared Weaver. So his magical season continues. Weaver now 12-4. And the ERA 1.90.
Flirted with a no-hitter in the early part of the game, about 4 innings, and he is very good. His breaking ball, his curveball is very good. Spots his fastball, good slider, just an all-around very good pitcher.
Abreu rolls it foul behind home plate. So 1-1 the count. Abreu 2 for 5 in game 1 with a couple of RBIs. Up and away.
And we showed Kurt Suzuki swings, very aggressive swings. And in that situation, don't you think that he would say, let me play?
Well,
swing the bat
sure
well.
He was, and I'm, Bob Melvin's probably thinking, yeah, I'd like to play him. I also told the other guy he's playing.
Right, and it's really nothing against Landon Powell. Landon Powell's an excellent catcher. It's just that it's so unusual to even think about a catcher catching a doubleheader, both ends of a regularly scheduled doubleheader, day-night. I don't even know if that's even doable. But Zook swinging the bat very well. He'll have to wait until tomorrow in the series finale to continue.
Another 2-2 to Bobby Abreu. Trout takes off, swing and a miss. So a couple of strikeouts for Rich Harden in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Angels.
Cut on 80s Day, all fans that shaved their heads like Coco Crisp when he did it, and Ryan Sweeney or color their hair green and gold with the Supercuts stylist will receive a complimentary field-level tickets from Supercuts. Buzz cuts and coloring start at 11:05 a.m. and are limited to 100 fans. They'll be standing in line. The question is, how many of those fans are standing in line for a buzz cut versus standing in line for an MC Hammer bobblehead?
Just so they're standing in line, waiting to get in. Powell, Sizemore, and Sogard here in the bottom of the third. A's trailing 2-0. Powell hitting a 183 on the season. He's got 13 hits in 71 at-bats. That one bounced toward Izturis. A couple steps to his left, and that is out number 1. A's made a roster move immediately following Game 1. Jerry Blevins was called up. And Adam Rosales sent to AAA Sacramento, so Rosales gets some at-bats. And Jerry Blevins. So right now the A's, at least for the second game of this doubleheader, I got him for 9 relievers. Is that correct?
You do.
It was made official today. Sizemore with a button, and he's going to beat it. Scott Sizemore. A bunt single. So that's the second hit for the Athletics.
And that's a smart hit. Caspo really not playing that deep, but a very well executed bunt by Sizemore. You want to find a way to get on base, bring the tying run to the plate. You just never know what might happen, and a very nice bunt.
So here's a left-handed hitting Eric Sogard, who was just brought up from AAA. First pitch is low. But I was saying, Guillermo Moscoso is scheduled to pitch Tuesday, so the A's will bring Moscoso back, and he will pitch in Detroit Tuesday night. That's what we were told.
Well, Bob Melvin said when he was sent down, when Moscoso was sent down in Texas, said because he pitched the Wednesday before that final 4-game series, and he was not going to be used. And Bob Melvin told him, said, you're the odd man out. Not going to use you. We need the pitching, especially in Texas. And he said the next time we need you is the 19th. And here he is. He's going to be back, and he deserves it. He's pitched very well.
Yes, he has.
Tyson Ross, he's hopeful of getting back, but shoulder problem. You have the rib cage problem that started this morning, then a little tightness in his right shoulder.
Sogard lofts one to left field. Wells is under it. Last September, Eric Sogard had his first major league hit, and there it is.
Sogard, a nice round of applause.
That's right.
Now, De Jesus was out. He broke his hand in mid-season. First hit, got the baseball. It's all happy. And by the way, for Sizemore, talking about a nice bunt, Mike Selleck quickly points out he ends an 0 for 18. A little bit of a slump for Sizemore, so a good idea to break that and lay down a perfect bunt. That's smart thinking. And they do know it's been a while since they've been on base.
Weeks struck out in the first inning. The A's in that first game, a couple of runs on 9 hits. They had 3 doubles. They did not homer in the game. fouls it straight back. Fourth game for Jemiah Weeks. I think most of the, well, you go into a different city, teams come into the Coliseum. Generally, at least what I've found out, is most of the people from the other team, announcers, whatever, they always ask about Jemiah Weeks. Is he the real deal? And we say, yes, he is.
And it is Jamil.
Jamil.
She's been called
Then we tell the other announcers that.
Well, he is good. Of course, big brother Ricky Weeks with the Milwaukee Brewers signed a long-term contract, a power-hitting leadoff hitter. Jamil, if he fills out, might have that same capability, but right now just utilizing his speed, hitting line drives, and just trying to get on base.
His brother, you saw him in the All-Star game, but a little bit bigger, but filled out, stronger. See Sizemore not being held on because the runner's going anyways with the 3-2 count. Strike three called on the outside corner. So Weeks strikes out for the second time. Hayes get a hit. They leave Sizemore, and it's still 2-0 after three. Who was the last A's pitcher to save both games of a doubleheader? Well, it makes you think that it would probably been a while ago, since we've been talking about how few doubleheaders there are.
And since, well, we don't want to give the statistic of what the A's have done in the last 4 doubleheaders. I think
that's right. That's true.
I did mention that in the open, that they have been swept. Of course, the old saying, you doubleheader, you can't win both unless you win the first.
It's very hard.
It's very hard. The A's did win the first one, and that was what they were hoping. And will have to come back again in this game. Aaron Wells, who was ill last night, could not play. Playing both ends of the doubleheader today.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Third straight strikeout for Rich Hart.
Well, this is the good changeup. This is what he wanted to throw to Trumbo. But instead of taking that last dip and missing the bat of Vernon Wells, the last dip did not occur and ended up in over the center field, left center field fence.
There it is. Back when the Brew Crew was in the American League.
Right.
First pitch to Cayaspo was low.
He did play a regular scheduled doubleheader in Minnesota in 2001. I thought it was more recent than that, but that's how time flies, I guess. 10 years ago, and that game, a doubleheader was scheduled. I think that also was a Saturday afternoon. Both games went very long, but the reason the Twins scheduled, they did not expect to have a very good season, so they wanted to have a doubleheader and try to draw more people. It turned out they had a very good first half, and they said, "Oh, we just wasted a date."
Yeah, sure did.
They had a huge crowd for the doubleheader, but just one of those things. That is the biggest thing. Teams just do not want to lose a game.
Well, you could understand
Absolutely.
that. I mean, if you're an organization, if you have big crowds,
Number 2, Eric Ibar.
but I still think, there's talk about, well, if you wanted to shorten the season a little bit, have each team have a couple doubleheaders, and that's what you hear the complaint is, well, you don't want to lose a game. You could still have the day-night doubleheader. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You could schedule a day-night doubleheader. I mean, then you're not losing that gate. I mean, I don't know that would be a terrible thing.
No, and
If you said to each team, hey, you know what? You need to schedule a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Because if you do it and all the other teams are doing it over the course of the year, I would think that would shorten the season a little bit anyways. Ibar with a hit. Well, Ibar, a couple hits in game 1, and he's got a hit here in game 2. Hitting down in the order.
well, if they end up adding another team, which they want to do in postseason, another wild card in each league, it's going to extend postseason another round. That first round, they don't know whether it's going to be best of 3, one game, whatever, but still it's going to extend the season. It's already starting in either late March or 1st of April, which is much sooner. And you talk about records that teams have had. The Indians won more games than they ever won in the month of April this year. Well, they started April 1st.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
played a
that's
full
true,
month, and as opposed to starting as late as 7th, 8th.
It's a little
somewhere.
skewed,
Yeah. In the case of the Indians, it was great for them to get off to a tremendous start, and they've maintained it throughout the season.
1-0 to Trumbo. Pops a foul back. This is what Trumbo did in the second inning. 2 outs.
It's the same sequence where he has a man on base with 2 outs. Rich Hard knew. You can see the look, and these pitchers know that when contact is made, they don't have to turn around and look. I think Dan Herron wanted to see last night with Josh Willingham just how far is that ball going. And as he said, I would rather give one like that than a fence scraper, one that just barely makes it. He said if they want to hit it, let them hit it a long distance. And Dan Herron very good-hearted about it, even though he gave up a long shot.
Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour. So a couple more strikeouts for Harden. He's now got 4. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Angels. Net California is brought to you by Infineon Raceway. The Fram Autolite NHRA Nationals NHRA Full Throttle Drag Racing Series returns to Sonoma July 29th through the 31st. Tickets at InfineonRaceway.com. First pitch, Coco Crisp rolls one to Asturias. Crisp is grounded out to the second baseman twice. So one out here in the bottom of the fourth. A's trailing 2-0.
Now running, Ryan Sweeney.
The A's didn't get their first hit in game one until, when we say, the fifth inning. One out in the fifth inning. They got a couple of hits in game two against Santana. Sweeney has one of them a double. That's the good news. The bad news is he was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. And that was the third out in the first inning. Seagulls are all over the place. I just don't think they're going away.
They're not, and they also don't realize that Mountain Davis is tarped and it's not open for business, and there's a lot of them perching up there. Fewer now than there were. There were a bunch of them right near the Athletics logo in center field.
I think they're sitting up there assessing the situation. It's a base hit for Sweeney. Hit it hard.
He's not even going to think about going for two.
No.
He just shut it down.
Probably not.
Halfway to first base. That's enough. Two solid hits and an off-speed pitch. Same one that got Jamal Weeks last inning.
So here's Willingham. Willingham 0 for 3 with a walk in game one, and game two, fly out to right field. The Sweeney is going to go to second on the, should be a wild pitch. Ball looked like it was in the dirt and skipped away from Conger.
The ball hit hard in front of the home plate, and well, that far in front of the plate, not much a catcher can do. That side shot showed Conger pretty close to the hitter, and of course Toriyama had the catcher's interference in Texas because he was too close with Matsui hitting.
Breaking ball drops low. 2-0 to Willingham with DeJesus in the on-deck circle. Good breaking ball. 2-0.
Yeah, I still think when Santana came to the big leagues, the one guy that helped him the most was Benji Molina. I've said it every time he faced the A's, because Benji was not afraid to call that pitch, the 2-0 slider, not giving in to the fastball in a fastball count, and he gained a lot of confidence throwing the pitch anytime, any count, and he's continued at the major league level even though Benji's not there.
Shot center field, and that's a base hit. Sweeney will be held as Trout got to it quickly, gets it back in quickly. So Willingham has a base hit. And the A's have something going here in the fourth.
Well, I think that Mike Gallego with that ball, and you said it perfectly, he got to it quickly, but also these outfielders are playing shallow. And Josh Willingham is a powerful hitter, but still Trout with his speed playing relatively shallow, his ability to go back on a fly ball enables him to do that. And that's what you have to recognize. And Mike Gallego decided to shut it down, and hopeful that David DeJesus can continue his success against the Angels.
So DeJesus grounded out to the second baseman, his first at bat. And he shoots that one into right field, and that's a base hit. So the A's are on the board as Sweeney trots home and scores. It's 2-1. So DeJesus gets his 25th RBI.
Jumping on the first pitch, and a first pitch fastball, a little bit low, but you look, first pitch fastball, why take? And especially with a pitcher who's throwing as many off-speed pitches as Santana is. And David DeJesus, a good first game, success against the Angels. It's kind of like the magic wand. Just see the ball, swing, and make good contact.
There's a line drive, just foul by Connor Jackson. Well, that would have easily scored a pair.
Slicing too much, a fastball, and you can see a great shot. Camera down the right field line, and about a 1.5 foot foul.
Willingham at second, DeJesus at first. Fastball is low, 94 miles an hour. Jackson struck out swinging in the second inning. Quick throw, and the runner at second, Willingham, is going to go to third. The throw was high. Trumbo got a glove on it and rolled past him. Conger had the right idea because DeJesus was off quite a ways, but his throw was high.
Well, it's a good play if you make a good throw, but Conger is very fortunate. He's got a tall first baseman. That ball could have been down the right field corner, and both runs could have scored. But Willingham very alertly seeing the ball get away from Trumbull at first, but what a great play by Trumbull to keep this ball from going down to right field. That's great hang time on a ball that was airmail.
So now first and third. A shot, and that is just foul. Wow.
Well, one down the right field line. This one just pulled foul down the third base line. And, of course, Willingham, a good job running in foul territory. You don't want to be in fair territory and get hit. Closing out. So you run down the line in foul territory. No swing. Circle back to the bag in fair territory. So if the catcher throws, he can hit you.
Breaking ball, and Jackson chased it. And that's a big strikeout for Santana.
You know, we've seen the Angels who the catchers throw a lot. And once again, Conger, the thing that he does here, probably that we have seen the Angels do, Mathis does it, Conger does it, that's throw from the knees. That's good if you make the throw, but it's very tough as you're going down to your knees to bring the throw down with you. And as it turned out, the arm stayed up. And again, very fortunate at this point that it wasn't a worse error. Guys do that to try to quicken the throw to first. The quick footwork. You can also do and accomplish the same thing.
Landon Powell grounded out his first at bat. Outside corner with a strike. Santana, a career record of 80-63 and 13-3 against the Athletics, 6-1 here at the Coliseum. Landon drives one right field down the line. On the run is Hunter. He can't get it. Run scores, and this game is tied. Landon Powell down the right field line.
He would like to hit it a little bit harder down to the corner with a no-doubter, but he hit it just softly enough that Gold Glover from center field, Torrey Hunter, playing right field, could not get to it. A little bit towards the end of the bat, but no more than Landon Powell has played. He will take this, especially coming through with 2 outs, to drive home the tying run. I thought he was going to hang up long enough for Hunter and his speed to get to the ball, but threw up the glove, trying to deke. No reason to deke somebody with 2 outs. They're going to be running anyway. And a big, big hit by Landon Powell.
Here's Sizemore. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. So DeJesus goes to third on the play. And just like that, we got a new ball game. Sizemore had a bunt single in the 3rd inning. The A's have 4 hits in this inning. Much like the 7th inning of Game 1 when they got both of their runs. They had 4 hits in that inning. Pop-up foul. You saw the note on Santana. Just 1 win in his last 7 starts. But the ERA is not horrible. So he's 4-8 with the ERA under 4 coming into this start. Irvin Santana. And he gets the strikeout of Sizemore. But the A's do damage. They score twice on 4 hits. So we head to the 5th, all tied at 2. Both games of a doubleheader. Should have known. Dennis Eckersley did it. 1990 against the Cleveland Indians.
Maybe.
Those are A's pitchers that have saved both games of a doubleheader. Eck did it twice, both against the Indians.
A couple of pretty good years for the A's, going to the World Series 2 of those years. The 88 and 90 for Eck, both of those. Of course, losing to the Dodgers and the Reds, but winning the big one in 89.
Conger, Trout, and Izturis. 8-9-1 against Rich Harden. Harden, 4 strikeouts. 2 of them coming in the 3rd and 2 more in the 4th. He's given up 3 hits. And he has thrown 65 pitches. Conger pops it up right near the mound. Harden called for it and then got out of the way as Sizemore comes over.
It's a pitcher saying, I am an athlete. I can make this play if you need me to. But if you get over there, I'll get out of the way.
But only if you need me to.
Number 27, Mike Trout.
Rich is a good athlete, no doubt. He has to be extremely happy to be back on the mound pitching. Feeling good, 5th inning. Then he's got a reprieve. Ball club has come up with a couple of runs, so he can start fresh again. Tied at 2.
First pitch in for a strike to Mike Trout, who walked in the 3rd inning. Trout was 0 for 4 in game 1 of the doubleheader. Lays off the high fastball.
It's always tough for a young player like Trout experiencing coming to the big leagues, especially as a teenager, 19 years young, and really relying on his hitting coach Mickey Hatcher of what do these pitchers throw. They're in the big leagues and they're pretty good. And it's all new experience. Jamal Weeks for the A's experiencing the same thing, trying to learn as much as you can on the fly. And I think we talk about Adam Roden, the job that he does, and this is where young players getting the opportunity to play. In the case of Trout, his own video coordinator for the A's, Adam Roden, who has everything on the pitchers these guys are facing, and it is a tremendous help to at least watch the video, watch the DVD, and see the release point of the pitcher and what his tendencies are, what he might throw. I think we all feel the A's have the best. And Adam Roden.
No question about it. Trout hanging in there. He's covering that outside part of the plate, which Harden keeps firing the fastballs right out there. So see how this battle ends. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That is how it ends, and that's 5 strikeouts for Harden.
Well, he might have been looking for the fastball, just could not catch up to the very good one thrown by Rich Harden. It was a 4-seam fastball, about 94. And you could say all you want about minor leagues and the big leagues. AAA is not that far from the big leagues, but it's like a country way when way guys throw at this level versus at the minor league level. Change up like that. But the difference for Rich Harden's change up and most change ups are about 12 miles an hour different. Rich throws it hard, and that's why the mistake to Trumbo ended up being a home run, because it was about 7-8 miles slower than his fastball.
Quickly ahead of Izturis. Izturis has hit a pair of fly balls to Sweeney in left field.
Landon Powell got one on his catching hand, a foul ball that hit his glove. In glove hand, usually it's the bare hand that takes the brunt. This time he got it on the glove hand.
Check the swing and a pitch in the dirt. Backhanded by Connor Jackson. He'll flip to Harden. Side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for Rich Harden. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-2.
box seats and a chance to go to a 2011 World Series game. Enter online at ChevyBaseball.com/athletics today. Chevy's Field box seats. That's pretty nice.
Sogard to lead it off. He swings at the first pitch and hits it hard but foul. The A's had just 2 hits off Santana in the first 3 innings, but in the bottom of the 4th, they got 4 hits and a couple of runs. That is how this game is tied. And now 3-1.
Sogard's got a good idea in his approach. He kind of knows his limitations. He knows that he's kind of an on-base guy. Knows the strike zone. And a good walk. He took those pitches like he knew exactly what the strike zone was and gets a leadoff walk. Trying to set the table for the top of the order.
And that's the first walk issued by Santana.
But sometimes a guy taking a walk is a little more impressive than swinging the bat, because he doesn't go out of the strike zone and kind of zone into a certain area, and if it's not there, not going to swing.
Weeks, a couple of strikeouts so far in the game. But wouldn't you say, Ray, that guys who are slumping are probably not walking a lot?
That's right. Just over aggressive and swinging at bad pitches, just trying to make things happen, and instead of, and I think Bob Melvin said it better, instead of trying harder, you try easier. And that at bat by Eric Sogard was just one of those, just not really trying to push it.
Bunted. Santana flips it, and he cannot make the play at first. Sogard's going to get up, and he's going to go to third. Santana flipped it softly, and Izturis, he just missed it. And with Weeks' great speed, it was going to be a close play at first.
That's a good base hit. Good idea by Jemile Weeks to try to advance the runner, but at his speed, and the first baseman trouble going after. And well, we have said it often, when a pitcher, anybody has to throw to a moving target, it is not easy. You try to guide the ball, and trying to reach back bare hand is a tourist. Could not do it. That's just not your normal throw from a pitcher. And the throw way off line, so a good base hit on the bunt and an E1 on the air. Runner going to third. Heads up base running by Sogard.
So now the A's need to take advantage of that break. First and third and nobody out.
Izturis had hoped the ball would be towards his glove hand, but it was not, and just tried to reach back with the bare hand. I don't think he would have gotten Jemile Weeks, but at least it would have been first and second versus first and third. You know, I think the interesting thing is to look at the expression of Mike Scioscia when a play like that happens.
Yeah.
He's looking up.
Unbelievable.
You cannot believe what is going on. But he is into every play, and the look says it all when a play like that occurs.
I don't know which is better, that look or the look when a close pitch is not called the way Mike Scioscia maybe thinks it should be. Actually, the look is pretty similar, but it's very funny. Timeout called.
Who gave the timeout?
I don't know.
Wow. Coco asked for it and got it. He should not have been given timeout. When a pitcher's in the stretch and it lifts his leg and the umpire allows timeout, that's when an injury could happen.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
It's also a way to steal a run and get a ball. Because if the umpire doesn't call timeout, maybe the pitcher thinks he is and stops his delivery anyway.
Trumbo stays with it. Outfield is fairly shallow. Just slid around a little bit toward right center, where Trout maybe 4 or 5 steps to his left. And the runner goes, and Weeks is going to make it. A little bit of a delayed steal, but he made it without a throw.
The ball was in the dirt. Nice play by Conger just to come up with the ball, and left-handed batter maybe blocking the view. He decided not to throw, and probably a good idea because Jamal Weeks.
It was not a delayed steal. He was going.
I think the delay part was Conger taking his time and trying to catch the ball first, which he did.
High, 2-2.
Ground ball to the right side accomplishes a run scoring, and plus Jamal Weeks moving to third base. Coco trying to get out in front and pull the ball, which he did on that one, but pulled foul.
He lays off that pitch that's low to get the count full. Pitch, and that one rolled to the right side. Exactly what the A's needed. Run comes in. A's take the lead, and Weeks goes to third. So Coco Crisp gets the RBI.
Pretty consistent in the pitch by Santana, throwing the slider, and when you're a left-handed hitter trying to pull the ball, that's a perfect pitch. No stride by Coco, which is typical for him. And he's able to get out front, roll over, get the ground ball. A very productive out.
Now the infield comes in for the Angels with Sweeney the hitter. The A's with 2 in the 4th and 1 here in the 5th to take the lead. There's a strike. Sweeney's had a good night. Good game 2 with a double in the 1st, a single in the 4th, and he scored a run in that 4th inning. 12 for 21 against Santana. Fastball inside. Santana trying to sneak the fastball in there. Shot right up over the A's dugout.
On his ball 3 also. Pitch down, and well, these are the different approaches a pitcher and a hitter have with a runner at third in this case with 1 out. Ryan Sweeney shaking his head. He knew he went after ball. But Ryan Sweeney was up with 2 outs the first inning, doubled up with 1 out in the 4th inning and singled. But now runner in scoring position, he's been pitched very differently.
And he drives this one down the right field line, but it's his foul up over the Angels bullpen. Willingham will be next. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. A run in. And he got him swinging on a pitch in the dirt. So strikeout number 6 for Santana, and that was a big one.
Well, he just did not get the fastballs he got in the first 2 at-bats. And the hard slider. Santana made sure he threw the ball hard, wanted it in the dirt, and his catcher Conger blocked it.
So it'll be up to Willingham to get another run here in the 5th. Willingham had a line drive single to center field and scored in the 4th inning. First pitch is a fastball inside.
What Josh Willingham is experiencing with the A's right now. He's not getting a lot of good pitches to hit. That's why the old protection, as they call it, it's sometimes not there.
Callaspo flips it across side, retired. A's get a run and a hit, a walk, and there was an error. So the A's have the lead 3-2 after 5.
To celebrate their loyal fans, Asheville.
California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Play the zone only at Cache Creek. Win a chance to play the Red Hot Zone. Visit CacheCreek.com for details.
That's what he wants, huh? Yeah, that's what he wants.
Did you hear that one? That's what he wants. Yep, that's what he wants. The little guy made his selection. So Rich Hard now pitching with the lead. 3-2, top of the 6th. Hunter, Abreu, and Wells are the 3 veteran hitters in the Angels lineup. Swing and a miss.
I think both clubs are very happy with the overcast, guys. Second game, you get to that twilight where shadows and sunshine. Sun tried to peek through, but it's really been kind of nice to be able to see the ball and not worry about the shadows, but very slightly now approaching the pitcher's mound with the shadows.
This one's popped up to Sweeney at left field. And he's got it for out number 1. So Torii Hunter 0 for 11 now in this series.
Now batting, number 53, Bobby.
So here's Bobby Abreu.
Remember at the beginning of the season when the Angels were struggling and everybody said, oh, they're not going to happen. All of a sudden they started picking it up. Vernon Wells started swinging them out well. Abreu is always consistent. Torii Hunter. And they mix in the young guys. Got a pretty good pitching staff. Makes them very good.
Too many good players for them to not be good.
Well, those veteran players know that it's a long season. We saw with the Tampa Bay Rays off to a slow start. Same with the Red Sox. And look where those teams are now as a team, and same with the players.
Angels are 51-43 after their win in Game 1. 2.5 back. They lost the game in the standings last night. overall. They've won 9 out of their last 11. They're in an interesting stretch as well. 14 of 17 on the road. That stretch starting with this series. In fact, the only 3 home games they have in that stretch is next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against the Texas Rangers.
Well, as we talked in Texas, the Rangers have yet to go to Anaheim. They still have 3 series to play in Anaheim.
And the first of those 3 next week. So that'll be a series to keep an eye on as Abreu flies out. So Sweeney is taking care of Hunter and Abreu.
And I think from the Rangers standpoint, they're in Seattle and continue to play very good baseball, but they have to be thinking about the Angels, the team that's the closest to them. And they want the separation, but they're going to have to face a team that plays extremely well and 40,000 plus every game in Anaheim. In a sea of red, cheering for the Angels. And plus, they got the monkey.
Yeah, and that's that one driven to left down the line. It is gone, and that's a second decker. Vernon Wells ties the game with a long home run.
Now we saw Trumbo hit a changeup, and first pitch changeup hitting by Vernon Wells, and he had just very strong upper body, and another changeup that stayed about belt high. And he crushed it. Hit a lot in Toronto first season with the Angels, and this was a second deck also. Fans in the second deck are going to start taking gloves, bringing gloves to the park.
You wouldn't think you would need it up there. It is a long ways. That one right down the line. So 14th home run for Wells. Carrasco fouls it straight back.
Close to the foul pole. A couple of rows deep in the second deck. Plaza level, as they call it here at the Coliseum. Regardless, it was a no doubter.
Carrasco checks his swing, and the count 1-2. So a couple of home runs for the Angels here in game 2 of the doubleheader, accounting for their 3 runs. Ibar hit a homer in game 1. Fastball, swing and a miss. So that is strikeout number 6. But Vernon Wells with the home run has tied up the game at 3. Freeze cam. Coors Light Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Bottom of the 6th inning of a 3-3 game. DeJesus swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Trout coming in. He's got it, and that is out number 1. So Wells with his 14th home run of the year. We were talking about that series next week, Raven. The Angels and the Rangers still have 13 games left against each other total. 10 in Anaheim, 3 in Texas, so that's a lot. 13.
But it's surprising to be mid-July, second half, and a team has not gone to the home of a division rival.
Yeah.
It's very shocking.
Because you're well past the halfway point as far as number of games. I mean, for the A's, this is their 95th game, so you're closing in on 100 games.
Not from the Angels' standpoint, to be where they are in the standings, trailing Rangers, they'll have a chance to take care of business themselves, control their destiny, as they say.
So they will go home, play those Rangers Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then back on the road. 3 in Baltimore, 3 in Cleveland, 4 in Detroit. So a tough road stretch for the Angels. Connor Jackson has a base hit.
About tomorrow when the A's play the Angels, to get your limited edition MC Hammer bobblehead presented by Supercuts. 15,000 fans will be given a bobblehead of the former A's bat boy who will be on hand to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Come dressed in 80s attire for this turn back the clock game. For tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. I got a shock today. 80s weekend. So Steve and Josh, ticket off, Steve Finelli and Josh, and all of a sudden I see this guy is Travis LaDuce. I said, what is wrong with you? He said, it's 80s weekend. He scared me. He said, just wait till tomorrow. And I said, I don't want to wait till tomorrow because looking at you today. But Travis really gets it's in tune. 70s last year. Of course, you were dressed impeccably. I mean, you were the top of the line, but Travis was also had his fro, had everything working last year. 70s game. Turn back the clock, and it's 80s weekend. Of course, celebrating the 89 World Championship. Sweep the Giants.
A little bit low to Landon Powell, 3-0. Powell had an RBI single in the 4th inning. He also grounded out in the 3rd. And the 3-0 pitch is outside.
Well, look at Mike Scioscia says it all.
That's the look. We love that look.
So, what's wrong? The pitch is outside, Mike. Just a little bit too far outside. I think he's reacting that way because the way Landon Powell stood at home plate. But Landon's a smart enough catcher. And hitters should not assume and be called back when they throw the bat, assuming it's a ball. So all Landon was doing was waiting for Jerry Meals to make the call. He thought it was a ball. It was. And he walked on 4 pitches. Mike's look is perfect.
Butcher's going to come out. Santana with the hit to Jackson and the 4-pitch walk to Powell.
You know, a lot of times we'll look at the notes that come our way and you say, wow, you see the numbers for Santana, 4 and 8. I was talking to Mike Butcher last night before the first game of the series, got a mention about Santana, and he said, you look at his numbers, sure, he got losses, but the 4 losses in June, 4 consecutive losses, he left the game trailing 3-1, 4-2, 2-0, 2-0.
Yeah. No
run support. And unfortunately for him, ended up losing those 4 games. So he's pitched well enough to win, but no offense from his club to help him out. Now he's trying to take the lead, retake it again after seeing Wells tie it.
Well, there's a lot that the starting pitcher can control in a game, but what his offense does is not one of those.
Well, probably the ugliest stat for a pitcher is lack of run support. I mean, that's unfortunate because you can pitch well, but just get no run support. A lot of times you pick up the loss.
1-1 pitch to Sizemore is low, 2-1. Santana, a lot of pitches. That was pitch number 97. The Angels used a couple pitchers in game 1. Downs, the left-hander, and Walden, the closer. So 3-1. Bounced over the mound right at the bag as Chira steps on the bag and throws to first, a double play. A's do not score, and we're headed to the 7th inning. It's a 3-3 game. The 80s this weekend, the Major League Baseball leaders in the 1980s. Best average was Wade Boggs. Ricky Henderson on the list 3 times. Runs, walks, and steals. Mike Schmidt hit the most home runs. A lot of Hall of Famers on that list. In fact, everybody's a Hall of Famer except Willie Wilson. So that's our Farmers Insurance report card. The whole weekend here at the O.co Coliseum. The A's celebrating that decade of the 80s. Which, if you think about it, it started out great, right? Mm-hmm. Billy Ball. And it ended great with 3 trips to the World Series, 88, 89, 90. And in the middle, just, you saw the farm system start to just kick out great players, and they just kept coming.
No doubt the Haas family, starting with the Billy Ball era. Well, started the season winning 11 straight. So this is a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Ball club. They're never going to lose.
And they win every game.
Great ownership, no doubt, and the finish the 80s. It's Mr. Walter Haas jersey, prominently displayed in right field. Rightfully so. And World Championship, 3 consecutive trips to the World Series with the World Championship in '89. Wally Haas, Roy Eisenhart, Walter Haas. I mean, just a great ownership, and well, it was great to see the crowds in those late 80s. Business person special at the Coliseum, 38,000.
Well, not a good start to the top of the 7th as Harden walks the Speedy Ibar. Well, the Haas family certainly
Now batting, number 44.
deserves a lot of credit for what has happened
Sandy
in
Alderson,
that decade.
behind Wally and Walter Haas, and Fay Vincent, the general manager, who was in San Francisco and out of the earthquake before Game 3 and had to postpone the World Series for some 10 days and resume. And the A's just continued and ended it with 2 games in San Francisco.
0-1 to Trumbo, who has a 2-run homer in this game.
One of the things that I remember about Mr. Haas, Walter Haas, late Walter Haas, Dave McKay was the coach, and he came in and said, Dave, you think I could have a baseball? He said, Mr. Haas, you own them. You can take anything you want.
You've paid for it.
But just a nice gentleman, and a lot of good times then.
High fastball, swing and a miss by Trumbo.
Mike Trumbo thinking he hit the changeup for a 2-run home run. He's not going to get another one. He got fastballs his last at bat, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, struck out, and this time trying to catch up to the good heater thrown by Rich Harden.
Ibar, a very good base stealer, 19 for 21 this year in steal attempts.
Landon Powell gets any kind of a chance with his quick feet, quick release, and accurate throw. He's got a pretty good chance to throw out anybody.
Ibar not running, and the pitches get fouled right at home plate. This will be pitch number 100 for Rich Harden in his 3rd start back from the disabled list. Ibar with a good lead. Not running, and that one is just outside, 2-2. Conger, the switch hitter, is in the on-deck circle. At 93 miles an hour. Outfield straight away, and swing and a miss by Trumbo as he strikes out for the 2nd time.
Stay with the fastball. This one at 93. And the 4th inning at 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Look how he had to reach, and a similar reach against Harden in the changeup, but could not hit one similarly. And number 44 and a strikeout.
So that's 1 out for Conger, the switch hitter. And that one down and in. Conger, a fly ball to left field, and a pop out to the 3rd baseman, Sizemore. Conger with 5 home runs on the year. Swings and misses. He's a very aggressive hitter.
That's when you like to throw the good changeup, one that really breaks out of strike zone, and that one did.
Keep thinking Ibar is going to take off at some point. He has not done that yet. Breslow and Ziegler are ready to go in the bullpen. They've been warming up for a while. Mike Trout, the right-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. High fastball, and Conger swings and misses. 8 strikeouts for Rich Harden.
Well, you just stand with a good fastball. Great to see the velocity of the fastball, especially with pitch count over 100. That was 106. 106 pitch thrown at 93 miles per hour.
Conger is 0 for 3. 2 outs for Trout. In for a strike.
I agree with you about Ibar, the runner at first base.
You got to go, don't you? If you're hit.
You figure with Conger and Trout, of course, they have the power to maybe drop a ball to the gap, hit a home run, but much easier to score from second on a single.
Well, we've talked about this a lot. I guess maybe it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know about you, but there are times when I just don't understand why a guy doesn't run.
Right. Plus, I'd like to see Landon Powell throw him out.
Exactly.
but
I mean, it's a tie game. You're a very good base stealer. You've been thrown out twice all year. And there he goes. And Powell's throw is not in time. Scoots into center field. And Ibar will get up and he'll get to third. Stolen base E2. So Ibar ends up at third.
At that time, Landon Powell was just a little too quick. And the follow through was not enough, but Ibar does run, and look how quickly Landon Powell gets rid of it, but the ball into the ground on the grass and scooted into center field. Javon did his best to try to keep Ibar at second by landing on him.
Hold his leg.
Yeah, anything he can. But basically, by stealing the way he did, he's given his hitter one chance. He got 2 strikes. Trout took strike 2.
1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Boy, how about the fastball? Pitch number 110. And he blows it by Trout. By Rich Harden, 9 strikeouts. The last 3 coming in the 7th inning. The high hard one, huh?
Yeah, get him a run, get him a win. He is finished for the afternoon as Grant Balfour gets loose for the 8th inning. Rich Harden, when you can throw your 110th pitch at 95 miles per hour, that's impressive. Really just 2 bad pitches he made all day, and the 2 changeups that were hit for home runs.
Takahashi, saw him last night. He's throwing. Sogard walked and scored in the 5th, trying to get aboard. Now the count 3-1.
Let's see if he takes a strike with 3-1. He's trying to start the inning the way he did in the 5th inning. It's a good take. Yeah, he's got the 3-2. And good hitters like to hit with 2 strikes. See how Sogard does. Down for a great 8th inning last night.
Drives that one left field. Wells going back, still going back, and it is over his head. Sogard has a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 7th.
Lay me shallow and get burnt. And that's what Wells was doing. Eric Sogard, his first hit of the season, just joined the ball club and got the fastball. The one thing we talked about, the outfield is playing shallow. That's okay. But by taking the count forward to 3-2, it enabled Sogard to look for a pitch, drive it a little bit harder. And Vernon Wells, a Gold Glover again, playing center field, winning the Gold Gloves, playing left field with the other Gold Glover in right field. And Eric Sogard hit one over his head.
So here's Weeks, and Weeks with a shot, and out at second, and
no, it's safe at second.
Safe at second.
Yeah, he called it safe. It was a late call, but
wow, very strange.
Very strange, because Iasonia looked like he was going to call him out. Did not, called him safe, and that's when the return throw went to first, and Jamal Weeks beat it.
So everybody ends up being safe, and there's a pretty heated argument by Ibar.
Remember the Iasonia play in the first game at third base with Ibar going to third on a ground ball to Pennington.
See what did it hit? Off the glove, okay.
And Ibar thought he had caught the ball, the deflection, and made the tag. Sogard going back. And did it get him? Close, but close. I think his left hand got in as Ibar tagged him on the left shoulder. And at first base, the throw offline. Jamal safe easily.
So it's a hit for Weeks. Sogard stays at second in a very strange play. So the ball tipped off the glove of Santana.
Actually, if Sogard had thought the ball was not going to be caught in the air.
Bunt it. Trumbo picks it up, throws in time. So Coco Crisp has the sacrifice.
Sogard could have gone to third the way the ball was hit, but he didn't know if it was going to be caught or not. Meanwhile, Coco did a great job. With Sogard, the ball is in the air, then dropped in front, and a quick tag, and that's where Ibar thought he had gotten him, but Iasonia took a couple of steps trying to decide what call he was going to make, because he should have called it there, but it looked as Iasonia, the umpire, keeps running before he makes the call, which made it difficult for Ibar to know what he wanted to do with the play. He hadn't made the call yet. And he
did you see the left hand?
Yeah.
It never touched the bag. It touched the foot of Ibar. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Irvin Santana is out. 6 1/3, and both the runners are his responsibility. So here's his line so far.
Ryan Sweeney.
So the A's with a chance to take the lead. Bottom of the 7th, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out for Sweeney. So the Angels go with the left-hander, Hisanori Takahashi. So Takahashi to face Sweeney.
A big opportunity for Ryan Sweeney. His last at bat, he gets another chance with the infield end. This time runners at 2nd and 3rd.
Slider is in for a strike. Sogard and Weeks, the runners, good speed there. Sweeney with a double, a single, and a strikeout. He struck out with Weeks at 3rd and 1 out in the 5th inning. Fastball right on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. Has to battle here. Sweeping sliders outside. That's Willingham, the on-deck hitter. There's a right-hander in the Angels bullpen, Rich Thompson. Takahashi's ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball right down the middle, strike 3 called.
Got it through the slider outside. They came back and nailed the outside corner with a fastball. So Willingham's going to be intentionally walked.
Number 16.
Not surprising.
I think it's hard, Ray, for a left-handed hitter when he's facing a left-handed reliever who comes in out of the bullpen. Strikeout situation. It would be hard for the hitter not to think slider. Right? I mean, that's sort of the strikeout pitch.
But also, if you think one location, that's away.
Yeah.
Because very rarely, I think, in that situation, not one of those fastballs or sliders were inside to Ryan Sweeney.
So instead of worrying about the pitch,
location,
take half the plate away and say,
and think up the middle. And really, it's ideal what you want to do with a runner at 3rd. You try to hit the ball the deepest, the biggest part of the field, which by looking away in that situation is what you're allowed to do. But fastball on the corner, that's a perfectly thrown fastball. But think about any place except that zone. And even if you slap the ball to left field, you still have a chance to drive in the run.
So the bases are loaded. 2 outs for David DeJesus. DeJesus is 1 for 3. He had an RBI single in the 4th inning. And the first pitch is down and away. So you do force your pitcher, obviously, to throw strikes when you intentionally walk the hitter, in this case Willingham, and of course the bases to be loaded. Good swing there by DeJesus. He got a fastball right out over the plate and fouled it back.
because of the intentional walk to Willingham, might not be as many waste pitches to the Jesus. Waste pitch being maybe a chase slider, one to try to get the hitter to chase.
A quick meeting at the mound between Conger and Takahashi. Slider maybe took a little off that one.
We started at that, the Jesus, not one to start in the middle of the plate, breaking outside. Conger outside, but the pitch, one that covered most of the plate, started inside, ended up outside corner.
So 1-2. Takahashi kicks and the pitch, high fastball. He struck him out. What a job by Hasunori Takahashi, and the A's do not score.
And we give it to Rich Hart, an outstanding performance. He just blew away hitters with a fastball. Fastball after fastball. Did get Vernon Wells with a changeup. He threw 2 changeups. He ended up home runs, but the final inning, fastball strikeout of Trumbull, Conger, and Trout. And he did it with a 93, 93, 95 mile-an-hour fastballs. And that last fastball to Trout was at 95. And a 1-2 fastball blew it right by. So a very nice outing by Rich Harden. Sadly, though, he goes to the clubhouse tied. So again, a no decision. But in his third start, probably his best with regard to the velocity and number of pitches at 110.
And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and spog experts. Grant Balfour comes in. The 8th inning is his. Tie game. First pitch to is Torres is a strike. Is Torres, Hunter, and Abreu. So top of the order. Foul. So a quick 0-2. So Hart good. Now Balfour to try to keep it a 3-3 game. Foul ball. as Turris is 0 for 3 in the game. Leadoff spot. A couple of fly balls and a ground out. The top 3 guys in the order is Turris, Hunter, and Abreu are 0 for 9 combined. And another foul ball. So as Turris just hanging in there, Balfour trying to keep the leadoff man off base. Another 1-2. Balfour's ready. Time to breaking ball. Well, the Rangers and the Mariners just underway. C.J. Wilson and Felix Hernandez. A couple of all-stars squaring off.
C.J. Wilson might not want to think about his all-star performance. He hanging slided Prince Fielder, resulting in a 3-run home run at the top of the wall. Chase Field, left center. It's pretty much the game. No lawyer ball against Prince Field.
No. Second foul ball. That gentleman is caught, we are told.
Well, it's a doubleheader. Came out to play 2. 2 children. And
as Turris takes a fastball, that one right there for strike 3.
He made pitches to do it, but Ryan Balfour nailed the fastball for strike 3. What he could have been looking for.
Number 48, Torii Hunter.
So here's Torii Hunter. So the Rangers have won 9 in a row. The Mariners have lost 7 in a row. So that is the matchup. Just getting started. 3 consecutive shutouts pitched by the Texas Rangers. They have a 29 consecutive scoreless inning streak going into that game. Hunter, swing and a miss. 0-2. Torii Hunter, a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout.
He did it with Rich Harden trying to catch up to the fastball, and with his big swing and good velocity of the fastball, trying to look for some good results.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He blew it right by him. Torii Hunter is 0 for 4. So the last 6 outs the A's pitchers have recorded have all been strikeouts.
That's just good old country fastball. Ryan Balfour not afraid to challenge hitters.
So here's Bobby Abreu. Rich Harden struck out the last man in the 6th inning. That was Cayasco. Then he walked Ibar, leading off the 7th, but he struck out Trumbo, Conger, and Trout. And then here in the 8th, Balfour has struck out his Turris and Hunter. So 11 strikeouts total for A's pitchers. Fastball is high. 2-1 to Bobby Abreu, who is 0 for 3. High pop up on the infield. It's going to be Weeks, the second baseman, who settles underneath it. Side retired Balfour, a very nice inning. Bottom of the 8th. Coming up, we are still tied at 3.
Athletics.
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. And this was the game 1 summary. First game of the doubleheader, which the Angels won 4-2. Jared Weaver got his 12th win. Trevor Cahill took the loss, so Cahill's record is now 8-8. Here's the game 2 summary: 3-4-2 for the Angels, 3-10-1 for the Athletics. So a tight game in game 2. Rich Harden was very good. 9 strikeouts, 7 innings. So it is the bottom of the 8th inning, and the A's trying to get a split in the doubleheader. Takahashi's first pitch to Jackson is low. Takahashi did a terrific job in the 7th. A's had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. He struck out Sweeney, intentionally walked Willingham, and then struck out DeJesus. And if you're a left-handed reliever, that would be doing your job.
Well, they faced 2 lefties, actually struck out the lefties, intentionally walked the right-hander. Set up perfectly for Mike Scioscia. A lot of times managers will alternate lefties and righties, but in this case they were able to intentionally walk Willingham.
Fly ball foul. So 1-2 to Connor Jackson, who has struck out twice and singled. Bailey loosening up. On the ground, right to is Chirinos, who juggles, stays with it, and throws out Connor Jackson. And that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Now batting, the catcher, number 11, Landon Powell.
So Landon Powell will hit from the right side.
Just think, Jeremy Affeldt, batting right-handed, bottom of the 8th inning, tie game, with the home run to win it.
Swing and a miss on a fastball.
He might not have had too many left or right-handed bats since then. Most of his bats against lefties, or against righties, that is, hitting from the left side.
Fastball is outside. Everything's final in the American League except that Texas-Seattle game, which should be getting started soon. Right there with a fastball. Red Sox beat the Rays 9-5. And the Yankees won 4-1 over Toronto. CC Sabathia was terrific today. 8 innings, just 3 hits. And Sabathia got his 14th win, so he is 14-4. So first place Red Sox win, second place Yankees win. They remain a game and a half back. The Rays drop a game, so they're now 6 back. Indians lost. Tigers lost. White Sox won. That was in the AL Central. So the White Sox just 4 back. Swing and a miss. Fastball. So that is out number 2. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combo is back. 2 chicken patties, bacon, melting cheese, served with a 20-ounce drink and small seasoned curly fries for only $3.99 plus tax. It's at participating restaurants. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Scott Sizemore steps in. Sizemore, first pitch swinging, pops it up. Trumbo is going to just swing. So in that AL Central, Ray, the White Sox 4 back, the Twins 1. They're 6 back. That division is far from over, and you could start saying, even though the Twins still 6 games under the 500 mark, but you could say that that is a 4-team race. So the Indians hanging on to the 1-game lead over Detroit. And we'll see those Tigers on Tuesday. Just 2 games in Detroit in this series, and that's it for the season. You have not seen probables for that series. You always start thinking, will you see Verlander? Strike 3 call, the fastball on the outside corner. 4 strikeouts for Takahashi, and we're going to the 9th.
This season, subscribe to MLB.TV today. See every Oakland A's game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
3-3 game, top of the 9th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And the new pitcher is Andrew Bailey. Well, Grant Balfour did his job, keeping it a tie game with 1 inning of work, couple of strikeouts. Bailey will try to do the same. He'll face Wells, Callaspo, and Ibar. Well, this is one of those rare games where you hope your closer gets the win. You don't see that very often. 0-2 to Vernon Wells.
Well, you knew after he did not come in the first game, and did ask him in between if he was going to pitch the 9th, even if a tie game or situation. I don't think that was going to be the case, but this game, since it is tied and trying to win the second game of this doubleheader, he is in the game. A's has 7 relievers remaining.
Yeah, they're good.
Rich Harden did a great job going 7 strong innings.
Wells homered in the 6th, and that tied this game. A's have out-hit the Angels 10-4. 2-2 pitch is fouled straight back.
Vernon was just so strong, so quick, and got the change up from Rich Harden, and crushed second deck towards the Coliseum. So back-to-back games. These fans in the second deck have needed a glove. Josh Willingham deep last night and Vernon Wells this afternoon.
2-2 pitch, a hanger, and Wells fouled it back. Probably don't want to throw that one there again.
And that's an upset hitter as he walks around home plate. Finished his swing, crossed the plate, walked behind home plate, behind the umpire, the catcher, all the while saying, how did I miss that one?
High fly ball, shallow center. And Crisp is under it, and that's out number one.
I always like to see that type of pitch with a power hitter. Pitching away, Vernon Wells tried to pull the high outside fastball. An easy fly ball to center field as a result.
Alberto Callaspo.
So here's Callaspo. Callaspo was 1 for 4 last night. He was 1 for 2 with a double and 3 walks in game 1 of the doubleheader. And he's 1 for 3 here in game 2. One and one the count. Ibar will be next. Interesting, the Angels bullpen, Ray, is quiet. Right there, first strike, 93 miles an hour.
Takahashi's pitching, and Mike Scioscia knows it's Sogard coming up, then Weeks and Crisp.
Yep.
So wants the guys to bat right-handed. That part of the batting order coming up for the A's in the bottom of the ninth has been very good. Sogard twice leading off an inning. Unfortunately, last time with a leadoff double could not score. Good day for him. On base twice in 3 plate appearances.
Another foul ball. Callaspo has been spoiling pitches all day. Callaspo with 3 home runs on the year.
Now he's going to sit fastball after that breaking pitch missed. Callaspo knows that Andrew Bailey's a good fastball pitcher. Great velocity. He's going to probably gear it up an extra notch or so.
Got him swinging. 12th strikeout by A's pitchers in this ball game.
But even you gear it up, sometimes in 93 you just can't not catch up to it. And Landon Powell set up inside corner. The ball kind of tailed towards the middle of the plate. Callaspo back pocket out and all, still couldn't make contact.
So Eric Ibar steps in. Ibar just got a piece of it. Ibar with a single and a walk in the ball game. He's also popped out to the shortstop. So 1 for 2 in this game. And 3 for 7 in the doubleheader. That's low. Mike Scioscia dropped Ibar to the 6th spot here in game 2. He was the leadoff hitter, and he usually is the leadoff hitter. Toward Weeks, he's got it. And Bailey has a 3-up, 3-down inning. So the bottom of the 9th is coming up. Sogard to lead it off. We're tied at 3.
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Chevrolet. Go to ChevyBaseball.com to support youth baseball and help make a moment kids will never forget.
Bottom of the ninth from the O.co Coliseum. The A's will try to win it. They will have Sogard, Weeks, and Crisp against the lefty Takahashi. Takahashi has been outstanding. He's thrown an inning and 2/3 with 4 strikeouts, and the 1 walk was intentional. So his first pitch to Sogard is at the knees on the outside corner for a strike. Sogard has flied to left, walked and scored, and doubled. And now he's behind in the count 0-2. Angels won the first game this afternoon 4-2. 0-2 pitch is grounded slowly toward his Turris. Throws out Sogard for out number 1.
It's like Andrew Bailey, just the 1 inning, the 9th inning. He's still trying to score to win it in regulation. Otherwise, Brad Ziegler comes on probably for the 10th inning. The A's would like to do it in a walk-off fashion. Couple hitters now turned around about right-handed. Switch hitters Jamal Weeks and Coco Crisp.
First pitch 2 Weeks. Swing and a miss. Change up and a good one from Takahashi. Couple of hits in game 2 for Weeks. 3 hits in game 1. So he's had a terrific day at the plate. This one's popped up as he went right back to the same pitch. Trout has it. So back-to-back changeups, and Weeks is retired.
Well, unfortunately for the A's, you look at the numbers, which sometimes we don't like to do, but stand out. That is 1-run games and extra inning games. The A's have not had a very good record all season in either one of those categories. And right now it's a tie game and 1 out away from going into extra innings.
So here's Coco Crisp. First pitch to Coco is a strike on the outside corner. Coco thought maybe it was outside, so he's having a chat with Jerry Niels. Good breaking ball, and it's quickly 0-2. Now Coco's really
a little frustration in the second game of the doubleheader. Coco playing both ends, still looking for a hit. Does have an RBI.
To pitch. Fastball is up and away. I think the Seagulls have
they're
dropped their
flight
pattern.
They know it's a day game. They know it was a day game, and now playing into the night, that really upsets them.
They're not up top anymore. Not second level. What's coming right at us here? 2-2 pitch, and now full count. So Coco's worked it full with Sweeney in the on deck circle. Payoff pitch. And he missed slow, and Coco has the 2-out walk.
And you know, he might have, when he complained about strike 2, which curveball looked like a pretty good pitch. He might have been able to sell himself on the 3-2 because he probably could have been called out on the 3-2. Jerry, look at me, Jerry. I'm talking to you. Jerry Mills will not look at it, and he should not. But this pitch, and of course Mike Scioscia's looking at it from the side. Takahashi thought it was a strike, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it except that.
Yeah, you know what? That's a strike.
I agree. I agree 100%.
The A's will take it. Now you got a base stealer at first. And here's Sweeney.
Sweeney hit the same double he hit in the first inning. Unfortunately, when he's thrown out at third. But that down on the right field corner might make it very exciting if he could do the same thing.
Slider inside corner first drive. Sweeney is 2 for 4. Double, single, run scored, and then back-to-back strikeouts. .38 pitches thrown by Takahashi.
And typically with a left-handed pitcher, the first baseman Trumbo off the bag, trying to cut down some of the space between first and second. So he's taking a throw on the move, going back to the bag.
Coco was going, and he's able to get back. Takahashi went that way, but Chris spun around and got back.
And the difference is Trumbo's off the bag.
He was way off the bag.
He's off when the throw came, and Coco knew that and had to go, or did go, to the outfield side. Look how far Trumbo's off. And then he had to reach back, and Coco did a very good job, and a heads-up call by C.B. Buckner. A good call.
He never tagged him. There he did.
Yeah, but he was already had his hand on the bag, and Ty Waller helping CB. But that's, if he's on the bag, he's out by a couple of feet.
Coco takes off, and a swing and a miss, no throw. So the winning run is at second base. Coco gets the steal.
And there's a time I thought there might be a pitch out because he was wanting to run the previous pitch. This time on first move, he takes off without a throw because there was no chance for Congress to even think about throwing him out.
Sweeney behind in the count 1-2. The outfielders take a couple steps in. The crowd gets up on its feet. 1-2 pitch to Sweeney. And he lines it to the gap. Coming in is Wells, and he caught it. Sweeney hit a bullet to the gap, and Wells tracked it down. Boy, it just hung up off the bat. It looked like a game winner. Extra innings coming up. latest feature, Meet a Prospect. Today we introduce you to athletics prospect Anthony Reckers. He explains how he became an A's fan while growing up in Philadelphia. CSNCalifornia.com, interactive home for A's baseball all season long.
Starting catch with AAA All-Star game. Saw a little bit of that on TV on Wednesday.
But when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Brad Ziegler. Very fine numbers this year. The 1.87 ERA. So he'll pitch the 10th. Off the plate, Ziegler backs up. He's got it. He throws to first in time to get Trumbo.
Well, that's twice Trumbo has had an opportunity. Had a ball go off Connor Jackson's leg first game, and Cam Over was thrown out, running as hard as he could. This ball off the plate. A lot of times it's a base hit, but Brad Ziegler, a very well played ball, did not rush, and of course throws 3/4 when he makes a play like that. So off the plate, still an out.
So with one out, Conger steps in. Strike on the outside corner. Conger is 0 for 3. Conger will be followed by Trout. Not close. 2-1. Conger a fly out, a pop out, and a strikeout. Three and 1. Bounce to the right side. Jackson's there. He'll take it himself, and that's out number 2. So Trout will step in with 2 outs.
Now batting, number 27, Mike Trout.
At the bottom of the 10th, Willingham will lead it off, followed by DeJesus and Jackson. Down and into Trout, who is 0 for 2. Walked in the 3rd and then struck out swinging in the 5th and struck out swinging again in the 7th. And Trout is now 2 for 19 in the big leagues. Swings and misses.
This is where it's tough as a hitter. You face different types of pitchers. It's the hard-throwing Rich Harden the first 3 at-bats. He walked, and then Rich Harden blew him away with fastballs. And I guess the submariner and Brad Ziegler.
Rich Thompson, who's been up a couple times. Looks like he will pitch to the bottom of the 10th. Big bouncer, and that's over the head. And Trout is very fast, and he's not even going to think about stopping. And he will be at second with a sliding double. Wow, is he fast.
And Scott Sizemore playing even with the bag, of course, with the possibility of a bunt. Reminiscent of the Philadelphia Phillies game.
Number 13,
A scoreless game into the 9th inning.
is Torres.
But you're right. He runs low to the ground.
Wow. That is low flying, man.
Think about Peter Borges and his speed, and they got another one in Mike Trout.
So here's Izturis. Chopped. Sogar charges on the run, and they get Izturis, and the Angels do not score. Bottom of the 10th coming up. 3-3 game. tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Lots of highlights, lots of coverage from the doubleheader here at the Coliseum. AAA, Bay Bridge Series, and International Soccer at AT&T Park. Mindy Bach and Henry Wolford will host. So it is the bottom of the 10th inning, and it's a tie game, 3-3. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Rich Thompson comes in. If I remember correctly, very hard thrower.
Yes, you're right.
As he faces Willingham. First pitch just a bit high. Willingham, DeJesus, and Jackson.
Wouldn't mind for Josh Willingham just to win it with another moonshot.
Moonshot. Slider down and away, 2-0. Willingham is 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the 4th. He walked in the 7th. The walk was intentional. Three-0. Pitch, not close. A 4-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the 10th, and really none of the pitches were that close.
And this is Mike Scioscia going out to visit with his pitcher.
And we're going to have a pinch runner. It's going to be Pennington.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Athletics.
Well, you hate to give up your best power hitter, but in this situation, trying to win it in extra innings, get the leadoff runner on base. What do you think Mike Scioscia is saying right now? He's a beauty. I mean, he is into every game, every pitch. And Mike Butcher's his pitching coach, but I think this is more of, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the matter right now.
There's your pinch runner, Cliff Pennington. Yeah, that would have been a fun conversation.
Well, and you notice at the end, he pounded Conger's chest protector. Because a lot of times, you keep calling the same pitch, it's not even close. You change up the game. Throw a slider, throw a curve, throw a change, throw something other than 4 fastballs completely out of the strike zone. So I think it was a combination, more directly at Thompson, but maybe also at his battery mate. Now, from David DeJesus' standpoint, if 4 pitches that were not even close, do you look for a fastball and swing at the first pitch? If he grooves it, which he may be trying to do just to get ahead.
The bunt attempt on the first baseline. Thompson picks it up. He'll tag DeJesus himself. So now the A's have the winning run at second base with 1 out.
Looking for 2 opportunities. This pitch might have been out of the strike zone too, a little bit high, but intent, it was a ball, but David DeJesus, instructions were to sacrifice, get the ball down, which he did. Got on top of a high fastball.
Well, DeJesus does his job, and here's Connor Jackson. Chance to win it. First pitch down and away.
Hasn't thrown a strike yet. Has 1 out, but 6 pitches and not one has been in the strike zone.
Landon Powell is in the on-deck circle. outside again, 2-0. More action now. Bobby Kazava starts to throw. 2-0 pitch. Jackson with a good swing, fouled it straight back.
Like Connor is a good fastball hitter. He's zoned in, and that's what hitters like to do, is look for a pitch in a certain area.
Outfielders in a couple steps. A good swing by Jackson. And the count's 2-2. See, as Torres, the second baseman, trying to do his best to keep Pennington as close as he can to second. Two pitch, breaking ball, just a bit high. 3-2.
Thrown 10 pitches.
Jerry Mills did look over this time, and he's staring into the Angels dugout.
10 pitches, 9 fastballs, and 1 curveball. And I'd have fooled Jerry Mills. He's thrown all his fastballs, maybe 1 slider, but just hope that the umpire, home plate umpire, if you're the pitcher, does not call the pitch too quickly.
So here's the payoff pitch. Thompson to Jackson. And another breaking ball. And this time Jackson took a whack at it. Lined it foul.
Well, Thompson and Conger in his position now with first base open. They can take a chance, go for a strikeout. Maybe even throw another curveball, something other than a fastball. If he walks him, sets up a possibility of a double play. And that's why these opportunities, a hitter has a chance to expand his strike zone, knowing that situation might exist, and go after one that maybe is a little bit off the plate.
Two pitch. Another foul ball. Up over the Angels dugout. He's trying to end a long day at the ballpark with a game-winning hit. Jackson grounds it to third. Callaspo stays down on it, flips it across, and that's out number 2. So a long at bat, and Rich Thompson gets Jackson.
Into the breaking ball again. And threw it in the strike zone, forcing Connor Jackson to swing. So Bob Melvin had the sacrifice put on with David DeJesus, looking for 2 opportunities to drive in the go-ahead run.
So here's Powell. Landon's been on base a couple times. RBI single in the 4th, and then the walk in the 6th. First pitch is down and in the dirt. Pennington pinch running for Willingham, who led off the inning with a walk. And now 2-0.
Where does a curveball have to be to be called a strike? Because one was high, and it could have been thrown by Thompson, and Jerry Mills, anything that has any sort of rotation, top to bottom, is not being called, at least for Thompson.
So the count 2-0. And then a fastball right there for a strike.
And just a reminder, the home plate umpires, Dale Scott in the first game, is not working the second game, and Jerry Mills behind the plate in the nightcap did not work the first game. And a fastball right down the middle. Taken for a bullhead strike.
Maybe he gets on 2-1. Got a fastball right down the middle, 2-2.
And the way Landon Powell just reacted, he had to be looking for something else, which is the wrong thing to do. I think hitters like to think fastball, make an adjustment on something off speed, but maybe a case where a catcher is thinking about how he would be pitched.
So Powell still got one more strike. 2-2 the count. Thompson from the stretch. Breaking ball and a pretty good take by Powell. That was a pretty good hook right there from Thompson.
Well, he starts the swing, and once he sees the rotation, he holds it up, not even worthy of an appeal.
Breaking ball, and Powell rolled it foul. So we'll do it again. You know, if you're the pitcher, first base is open.
Exactly.
And that run doesn't mean anything.
That's right. I think that's why it continues and has thrown the curveball pretty consistently, and it's getting it to be a better curveball from Thompson. Just when you think he's going to continue to throw the curveball, might try to stick a fastball, which he did. 2-0 and 2-1.
Two. And that missed a little low. Not by much. So now it'll be up to Scott Sizemore.
Well, he did go to the fastball, but Landon Powell took this one, and it was called low. The side view. As the stride starts, it looked like it was knee high. The A's are looking for a ball to hit out of the infield this inning to try to win this game. 2 walks, a sacrifice, and a ground ball to third. Scott Sizemore finished the day with a base hit to the outfield. Base hit to the infield is not probably going to score the go-ahead run, the winning run.
And the pitch is foul back, and that's a good swing right there by Sizemore. Got a first pitch fastball, and he took a good rip at it. 1 for 4 for Sizemore. He was 0 for 4 in game 1. Breaking ball and a good one right on the outside corner.
He has not called him until that one.
Jerry's a little all over the place right now.
I think the surprising thing is the concern. Pitch caught and brought up. Of course, where it crosses the plate's a whole different story, but why he's not being consistent calling the strikes as a curveball.
0-2 pitch, big breaking ball, and Conger is out there to get it. So 1-2. Pennington at second. Powell, the runner, at first. Powell's run does not mean anything. Pennington's the only guy that matters. Thompson, the 1-2 pitch, and a fastball, and it was fouled straight back. The crowd today, 27,379. A good share of them have stuck around. Breaking ball that is way high. So the count even now at 2-2. So Conger chats quickly with Thompson. Now he heads back behind home plate. Two pitch to Sizemore, trying to win it. Foul ball. "26 pitches in this inning for Rich Thompson. He was in trouble right from the get-go when he walked the leadoff man. Breaking ball, drilled right center field. Trout on the run. He can't get it, and the A's are going to win the game. So Sizemore, a good battle, and he ends up winning the game with the base hit to score Pennington. So the A's win Game 2 of the doubleheader and salvage the second game. So they had to play extras, 10 innings, but Sizemore wins it. And your final is 4-3 in 10 innings.
And Mike Scioscia will not be taking Jerry Meals to dinner.
Nope.
I don't think that's going to happen tonight. But great at bat by Scott Sizemore to get it done. And long day, and the A's finally are able to split a doubleheader. Something they had not done. They'd been swept the last 4 doubleheaders. This one, though, is not the case. So they were able to come up with a victory, and a nice one. Here's a Fremont Bank play of the game. The A's in the 10th inning come up with a hit. The only ball to leave the infield, a hanging curveball to Scott Sizemore, and a base hit, run-scoring base hit to right center. Given the speed, and Mike Trout could not get to it. Take it.
So Sizemore had a couple good swings earlier in that at-bat, and that was the game winner. So the A's win it 4-3 in 10 innings, and they do it with a walk-off hit. So a long day at the ballpark. A's lose the first game 4-2, win this game 4-3, and lots of excitement in the late innings. So nothing wrong with the split, right?
That's right, especially if you lose the first one.
Game. Scott Sizemore is standing by downstairs. Scott, first of all, tell us about the long day. A doubleheader, there's not a lot of those played. No break in between. You guys got right after it. How was it playing in the 2 games?
It wasn't too bad, really. I mean, we had some pretty quick innings. Getting peanuts thrown at me. And the weather was nice. You know, it was a beautiful day for baseball, so it goes off well because we got this win in the second one.
Yeah, before we talk about your great hit to end this long afternoon, your defense has been spectacular. How comfortable are you feeling at third base? You made play after play, but what are you feeling at third base the way you're playing?
Like you said, just starting to get more comfortable, feeling confident with everything that's going on over there, and I just hope to keep it going.
And Scott, you win the game in the bottom of the 10th inning, and we talked about your at-bat, and it looked like you had some good swings earlier in the count on some pitches to hit. Take us through that entire at-bat, which ended on the base hit.
Yeah, I got a good pitch to hit that first one, fouled it straight back. Then got down 0-2. Just after that, just battle mode. And then he left a curveball up, and I just put a good swing on it. Found the gap.
You know, he threw all the fastballs, and all of a sudden he started to throw the curveballs, which you did foul off a few before hitting the hanging curveball to right center. But how much do you watch an at bat bats in front of you to see kind of what the pitcher, in this case Thompson, is throwing, because he seemed, after initially throwing fastballs, he went more to his curveball.
Yeah, I've never faced him before, so I kind of just got to go by what the guys tell me on the bench. Gave me some good information on his stuff, and came out on top.
Hey, Scott, how important has it been for you coming over to the A's from obviously a different team and getting a chance to play every day? Now, certainly you're producing, and that's why you're in there, but how much has that meant to you? New team, here's an opportunity for you, and you're coming through.
It feels great. It was kind of sad to leave Detroit because that's who I came up with, but I'm definitely glad to be an A now, and I feel like I'm fitting in pretty well. Just hope that they keep liking me and putting me in the lineup.
Well, you did a great job, and I know Steve Vucinich always has a nice spread, especially after a long day. Go enjoy
That's right.
it. We appreciate your time.
All right, no problem, guys.
All right, thanks, Scott. Yeah. So there's the game winner, single to right center field, and what was really a good at-bat. Thompson, pretty good stuff, but he hung in there, a good at-bat. It started with a walk. So the A's, boy, you don't want to drop a doubleheader, obviously, not to be master of the obvious, but they battled, they gave up the lead, but then they came back and, they win it. So now you have a chance to win the series because you won the game last night as well.
I think that's the biggest thing. Had a chance. Of course, you look at all the numbers, what the A's have not done in the past in doubleheaders, and most of those have been makeups, obviously, since 97 was the last scheduled doubleheader here at the Coliseum. But to win last night the way they did, to start the second half, now to win 2 of the first 3, and especially splitting a doubleheader today, they go tomorrow and try to win the series and really take off this second half and forget about the numbers and just try to keep winning series. If they do that tomorrow, I think that'd be a great weekend.
So the long afternoon, long day at the ballpark, the doubleheader comes down to a split. So the Angels win game 1 of the series, or game 1 of the doubleheader, and the A's come back in dramatic fashion, and they win game 2 of the doubleheader. 4-3 is your final, and that was done in 10 innings. So that's going to do it from the O.co Coliseum. Again, the final score 4-3. Remember, if you missed the game or you want to watch it again on Comcast Channel 1, and then select Sports and Fitness, and then Comcast Sportsnet California for A's On Demand. Tune in tomorrow. Final game of the series, 12:30, A's pregame live, and then the ball game at 1. For my broadcast partner, Ray Fossey, producer Delaire LaWars, and director Tom Anza, I'm Glenn Kuiper saying so long from the Coliseum once again. The final score in game 2 of the doubleheader, A's 4, Angels 3.